All right, so let's go ahead and use our new emerald green. I had it backed with the French gray, so it's very neutral, and then we get our pop of color. But this green is giving me so many holiday vibes. I love it. So let's go ahead and lay it down. All right, before we do any styling whatsoever, all of the suede mats need to be brushed. So you're going to take the gloves that come with your package and you're going to brush your mat all one way. I already told you the color scheme, so let's go ahead and work with our base products. Get all of your styling blocks out and ready to go. So for this specific flat lay, we are going to do a very symmetrical flat lay, and then the next wedding invite, I'll go ahead and change it up and we'll do more of a garden flowy theme. So for today, we are going to make sure everything is in line with each other. And I will show you examples of even just the slightest little bend in your paper is going to completely mess up your flat lay. So let's go ahead, and I want you to find the main piece that is going to be our highlight, which for me, it's going to be this piece right here with their names on it. So we find that, I want you to find all of the envelopes, and if they have really cool liners, you're gonna use them this way. If they don't have cool liners, you're just going to be using it this way. Okay, so you want everything to pop. So I always start with my envelopes. So go ahead and get one that has a really cool liner. If it doesn't have a liner and it looks decent on the inside, go ahead and use it. We're gonna start, and we always start in the top left-hand corner. I always add an acrylic block because it doesn't have too much dimension, and then we can start stacking up from there. Now that we've got that first one down, we're going to add in our main invite. So this one is going to be your highest level. After we put the highest level, which is your main invite card, we're going to start working it down. So for this one, I am going to put 2 of these acrylic risers plus another acrylic block. So go ahead and stack these. I'm going to place it right in the middle for now. We may move it, but for now we're going to put it right in the middle. We're going to remember our levels. I'm going to have one more. Okay, and see how your paper, I don't know if you guys can tell from this angle, it's kind of sloping down towards this way, and we want everything completely flat. So we are going to not worry about that little acrylic block. That's much better. We're going to put that right there. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm looking from it sideways, and I'm now looking from it from the top down, and I see that it's barely just cutting this off. You either want it to go completely, like, noticeably over your envelope, or you want to leave a little bit of room. So for right now, I'm going to leave a little bit of room in there. That way you can see a little teeny gap. So we've got our 2. Now we're gonna work back down from 2. So I'm going to find any more vertical pieces that I have, which would be, this is my only other vertical one. This one is horizontal. And I'm going to find the same liner style. Now I'm not going to use this liner anymore. I'm now going to use this kind of like as a little backdrop. And I always place them just right here. So half of it covered, half of it not, actually more like 3/4. Okay, so this is what you're gonna wanna do. You're gonna lay this part flat on the styling mat, and this accent card, you're gonna put 1 acrylic riser underneath of it. So I always do diagonal, the same colors. So if this is the same color, I'm going to put it diagonal from it and not just up and down, because the eye will just see that too much. So I'm going to go ahead and hide a little bit underneath there. And then I'm going to put this piece exactly how I had it. I'm gonna get one of my smaller risers, I'm gonna leave the same amount of room that I have here, distance between this one and this one. I'm going to put the same between this one and this card. We've got the same distance between this card and now this card. We're gonna keep moving on, okay? All right, I'm gonna find my next envelope. And for me, it's this really beautiful one and it's a different color. So I'm going to use it as my little accent piece. So I'm gonna grab this one as well. And now we're going to play. So we want to keep everything vertical. I'm not gonna worry so much about horizontal because this one is going to be a very symmetrical invitation suite. So I'm going to play with the idea of popping this in and keeping it very in line with this one. So I really like the idea of keeping it on the bottom because for flat lays, we want flat lays bottom heavy, not top heavy. I might change this in just a little bit for right now. Ooh, I am gonna change it. Okay, we want this to be a very symmetrical one, but there also needs to be a little bit of eye-catching design. So this one, I'm going to make it the exception, and I am now going to change it and put this one right back here. Now, I want to make sure that these all stay even, so I need to make sure that all of these have little teeny liners, okay? All right, so this is going to be my fun little accent piece. Now, because this envelope, I don't have another duplicate of it. So now I need to find a place for this one. I really love kind of hiding that right there. However, they're right next to each other and I don't love that. Let's see if we can't hide this color more than anything. And we can, so we can just kind of keep this gold and we're gonna kind of cover it with this card. I don't wanna place it completely center because we need some visual interest. So I'm just gonna move it over slightly right here. And this piece is going to come right here. We'll move that card right there. So let's go ahead, add in some blocks. Since this one is on one acrylic block, I'm going to add this one. This one has a thicker dimension. So I'm gonna add this one right here because this one's on 2, this one will be on 1. And a good way to keep these is just to bend them backwards. That usually keeps them pretty flat. Again, watch your spacing. And since this is on 2 of the big acrylic stackable blocks, this is on 1, I'm gonna add in one more just acrylic block down here. And if it stays, that's what we're gonna do. So now I need to start stacking the acrylic blocks. Now you guys know how many styling blocks I carry with me because I use all of them. So I'm going to now start stacking these little guys underneath here to make it even. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I need to scoot this over to make it the same distance. Okay, same distance here vertically. This looks really good. Again, I don't want to keep it completely even because we don't want a complete square because this one is going to go a little bit lower. So let's go ahead and match this one with this one. Give a little bit of, ooh, I love this so far. Okay, let's keep going. I see this is a little bit off. I'm gonna pull that up just a little bit. That's looking really good. Okay, and I get that you guys are up at an angle. So I will go ahead and take this down here in just a little bit and show you completely overhead of what it's gonna look like.